Vernier Scalloper.
Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm not feeling very well, but we have a lot to talk about because I have watched Raya and the Last Dragon. So, the show must go on. Show must go on. Show must go on. Hey! The story of Raya is set in Kusandra, Kunandra, Kamasutra, Kumandra, and out the gates, amazing landscapes, amazing graphics. I really enjoy the scenery. I want to be there. As you know, this film is inspired by Southeast Asia, so this Southeast Asian inspired landscapes is so beautiful. The water and everything. Now the evil entity of this film is called the Drone. It's this purple juice corruption liquid thing that storms and plagues the earth and turns people into stone. So Medusa in a plague form, in a smoky purple cloud form. So Sisu the dragon sacrificed themselves for humanity and left behind this gem that holds this power to repel the drone. But as you know, humans, instead of celebrating this harmony, this peace, this prosperity, instead they are fighting over the gem because they are greedy and they are power hungry. And that's how we get all the issues that will come in this story. So more backstory, we see Benja, Benjamin and Raya having a little play fight in some sort of temple chamber thing. And there is the gem, and it is revealed that they are part of a region called Heart. And in this region, they guard the gem that Sisu has left behind. They are responsible for the safety of the gem. And apparently, all the other regions want the gem, and they are most likely going to steal the gem. So we have 4 other regions creatively named after parts of the dragon. So we have tail, talon, spine, fang. So for tail, we have a hot desert with hotter thieves. For talon, we have a wet market with wetter people. For spine, we have fatties with big cocks. And for fang, the most infamous out of the 4, we have people with anger management issues. But of course, Benjamin, as a leader, he's onto something. So he is telling Raya, you know what, we're not going to fight them. We're going to invite them over for a good Asian style gathering, conversation, communication over food, and it's going to be peace. Okay, we can all live as one Kama Sutra again. We don't have to fight. Okay, we can share and we can succeed and thrive together. He's onto something. He is onto something. But of course, things don't go as smoothly as planned. This is already giving us a very good understanding and image of the real world that we live in. A lot of times discrimination and things it all comes from misunderstanding and not enough communication and assumptions of each other. So I think that this is a very good lesson for the kids, okay, for the children, because you know why? The children are future. Let them lead the way. Okay, so that is onto something. That is onto something. We must trust each other again, and that is the woke agenda that the conservatives are wary about. The people arrived at Heart in their respective colors. It's very much like Olympics or some sort of sports event, sports day vibes with their respective colors. It's a little bit tacky, but I understand it's supposed to it's supposed to represent the different regions. So the other regions, because they're bitter and salty and jealous, they think that Heart is gatekeeping the gem from the rest of the world. Okay. And bless Benjamin, he is so nice. He's like, who's hungry? Who's hungry? And a kid steps forward. This kid is revealed to be Calanaari. Calanaari sees something in Raya, and Raya and Calanaari, they get along, they hit it off, okay? Because why? Children are our future. The children are the woke ones, the children do not have discriminate. They do not discriminate, they do not have agenda. That is all the adults. So the kids have a little icebreaker amongst themselves over some food. And Calanaari reveals that rice is a luxury to her region. And so we're already touching on some very deep and profound topics here. Calanaari talks about Sisu, the last dragon. This whole myth, this whole fairy tale about Sisu and how they sacrificed themselves and they fell asleep at the river's end. And that perhaps one day we may find Sisu and save the universe. And of course, Raya's really invested because she does want the world to be a better place. And Calanaari gives her the Sisu necklace that she has. She gives it to Raya. And Raya, being all sweet, decides to bring Calanaari to the gem chamber. Okay, you know what? I get that you two have hit it off. I get that we're off to a very good start. I get that this is very BFF in the making, very friendship. But we're already bringing them to our bedroom. We're already bringing them to our private area. We're already bringing them to the gem chamber. I'm sorry, but I think this is a really bad idea. This is not a good idea. Okay, this is when the naivety is starting to show because and I'm already thinking this Calanaari, please don't betray Raya's trust. And of course the betrayal happens, okay? Calanaari is here for the gem because the fangs are fucking horrible people. So scheming pretenders. So Raya and Benjamin try their best to fight off the fang people, but shit goes awry. Before you know it, the entire guest list is here and they're all fighting for the bloody gem. And in the midst of it, the gem breaks. Great. Now that its power has weakened, the drones. I don't know if drone is. I would. Okay, let's just say that the drone is plural. Okay, plural. So the drone seep. They enter. They rush into the chamber, and everybody screams. Like chaos mode. Like ah! And even amidst this chaos and everybody freaking out, people are still trying to steal the gem. Great. And the gems have all been pickpocketed, and now Heart is so vulnerable and defenseless to the drone. So the drone spreads like wildfire. So Benjamin, who's injured, decides to throw his daughter into the water. I'm sorry, it just sounds like he's killing her. Context. It is because the drone is afraid of water. So throwing her into the water is throwing her into safety. He is not killing her. I'm so sorry. He's throwing her into the water. And because he's injured, he doesn't want to be a burden. So he leaves behind on the bridge and he gets petrified by the drone that rushes over like a wave. And it is sad. It is sad. That is the backstory that we get of Raya. I really like the sound design of this scene. It is really nice. The reverb and the water sounds, the splashing and the sound of the drone, everything is very, very spectacular. I really enjoyed this part. So fast forward, now Raya is a big girl and Tuk Tuk, her little armadillo creature pet, is also a big boy now. And we get a demonstration from Raya on how the gem can be used to repel a drone. So a drone ambushes, surprise butt sex style, And Raya pulls out the thing like, the power of Sisu compels you. And the drone is repelled and... No surprise but sex in my household. Not in the name of Sisu. And yes, she still blames herself for trusting Calanaari, and that is the reason why the world is in shambles and it is all her fault. Okay, but here's the thing. At this moment I was thinking, are we getting a Calanaari redemption arc? Are we getting a Calanaari enemies to lovers arc? Is this all just going to be a lesson on how Calanaari is just a product of the system, the environment, the reality that she was born into? Raya goes into a little dubious cave to do a little dubious ritual, and then she she do boom 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 boom, and she summons Sisu, who is a furry. Okay, I know that this is a Disney film, but I was not expecting a furry type of dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very fur. Okay. We can do that. We can do that. And you know how Disney has this quirky thing that they're trying to do with their characters, their main characters, their leads, their princesses, the whole quirky, quirksonian quirks. Sisu is quirky, quirksonian quirks. She's very, very quirky. I'm not sure about her character, and the fact that she's voice acted by Awkwafina. I'm not sure. I wasn't sold, okay? I wasn't sold with this situational, but we will see how things go. I think that the Awkwafina thing hit me when Sisu started rapping. That was the moment I was like, oh yes, this is Awkwafina. We also get the Sisu human form, which I am also very iffy about, like the hair and everything. She looks so outlandish, but I guess maybe that's the point, she's supposed to look like the other, the outsider. She's not supposed to fit in with the other humans, so I guess, but... Okay, so one of my favorite parts of this film is when the fucking Scheming Pretender returns again. Scheming Pretender ambushes them when they're in this cave retrieving another gem shard. Raya proves to us that she is in fact very badass. She sets off the traps on the Fang people, sabotaging them. But my favorite part is when she sets off the fart beetles. Those little fart beetles that make the farting sounds. And she sets them off just as Calanaari was coming over, so that when Calanaari were to squeeze into the gap, the beetles would fart and explode in her face. I love that part so much. The sounds though, that was so satisfying. It's like, Raya, eat that, you scheming pretender, bitch. My other favorite part of this sequence is that because Sisu isn't used to being a human, so when she runs, she naturally goes on all fours. And it was giving Gothel, Gothel in Tangled, when she was freaking out that Rapunzel has left the tower and she was trying to run. She was doing it was it gave the same energy, and we get this nice little quote from Raya. Backstabbing Binturi that broke the world. So I guess Binturi is their B word, that's their slur. And in this moment we learn that Tuk Tuk is a boat as well. He can function as a boat. And that's on multi-purpose, that's on super convenient. A boat? Moani's that could never, Moani's that could never with his shitty raft. So we have successfully escaped from Calanaari and her stupid people. We're now on this boat in the river with this little kid who is a chef, and it's mukbang time. This mukbang scene reveals more of Raya's trust issues, as she thinks of the possibility that the food might be poisoned. Like this kid would want to poison her for a fucking jam, you know. In the clip of Calanaari returning to Fang, we get a glimpse of the dragon statues. The dragons that have sacrificed themselves long ago and have been petrified. And it made me think that is very crazy that those things were once alive. Can you imagine a world where we don't have fossils, we don't have bones like dead people, like decomposition and stuff, but instead we have statues? I'm personally not a fan of that idea because it feels a little bit too visceral. It is too much. Like, how do you not get emotional when you see a statue that was supposedly once that person, like actually physically that person, and not just a statue that you erected and molded and built based on the person, like that is the actual person? I find that really, it is too real. It is too real. Raya and friends on their boat, they row past a bunch of drone who are hanging out in the night, and I didn't know that the drone function like animals, like they could just roam around at night like actual beings. All along I thought that they were more like energy and less like actual living things, but I guess not. But the drone, what exactly are they? You know? Are they a misunderstood species? Are we going to get a drone redemption arc? Are we going to get a drone enemies to lovers arc? And the drones, what are they a metaphor for? Greed? Consumption? Corruption? Government? It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling better today, so let us continue. Raya and her new friends arrive at Talon, the night market city, and what happened to the trust issues? What happened to the trust issues that you've had all along? Where did they dissipate? She saw a baby and suddenly she's infatuated by the baby and she wants to help the baby, and it turns out that the baby is a con baby. A con baby who's assisted by a group of feral animals. This is why I don't fuck with the children, okay? I don't fuck with them. I don't want anything to do with them. I can appreciate them from afar, you know, afar, but you are not practicing what you preach, Raya. You told Sisu that we cannot trust people in this day and age, okay? We live in a very different world. Trust does not exist, okay? Everybody's lying, everybody's dishonest, and we can't just trust anybody on the street, even if it's a baby. But she trusted the baby and she got fucked up. And Sisu walks into another trap herself with this old hag who turns out to be the clan chief or chief clan, whatever, and she almost gets herself in trouble because... But okay, this whole segment in Talon is just a opportunity for Sisu to learn about the state of the human race, okay? Everybody's greedy, everybody's conniving, everybody's a scheming pretender like our possible love interest Calanaari. Yeah. We can feel the sexual tension, okay? So Sisu, and ironically Raya as well, they have a taste of betrayal. Sisu has her first taste of betrayal, and Raya has, I don't know, by this time of her life, this might be her 5th, 6th, 7th, 100th serving of betrayal. But for Sisu, this is a new experience, so... Okay, but why are we making friends with the baby now? Like, why is the baby on the boat with us? Like, what if the baby's after the jams? The jams. What if the baby is after the jams? You know, the jams. The jams. Oh, and next we're going to have a pig on the boat as well. Next we're going to have a chicken on the boat. And they're going to fall into the water and start drowning. And then we have to go and save them because we are so kind. Calanaari and her mom share a little moment. You know, they're talking about how, oh, you're turning out to be, you're growing into the leader that I always wanted you to be. I'm very proud of you. And okay, this brings up the conversation in my mind, okay? Calanaari, is she a good leader? Is she a promising leader, an up and coming leader? Yes, she is. Okay, she is. But is she the most honest one? But is honesty even important in the day and age of Kunandra at the moment? I don't know. Because I don't know if I want my ruler to, or rather, I don't know if I want to find out that my ruler is this liar. Tell me what you think. Would it sit right with you in your heart if your leader was Calanaari? You know, would you okay, you know what? Would you rather your leader is Calanaari, or would you rather your leader was Raya? I think that is a very good question. Which one would you prefer? We got another wonderful quotable quote from Raya, and it says, "We're a world of orphans because people couldn't stop fighting over a jam." That sums up the sentiment, you know, that sums up what this world is about at the moment, and it really helps Sisu grasp the severity of the situation, the severity of this human condition that is plagued, perhaps even more, you know, even more severe than the Droon. Perhaps the Droon is just a reflection of how dark and how society is depleted and deteriorated into a very, very self and conceited and self-centered and selfish and yes. And for a children's film to do all of this, so the group arrives at Spine, the icy place known for the fatties with the fat cocks, and immediately we transition into kidnapper roleplay. And it is in this kidnap roleplay that we get to hear more of Sisu's quirky Quirksonian quirks. When the kidnapper is talking to them and she's making all these unserious comments, unserious remarks, and you know what? You know what? I think I kind of like her now. I think I am falling in love with Sisu. She is about the quirky Quirksonian quirks, and I have to give it to her. She's really selling it for me. I really like the. I was laughing. I let out some ugly laughs that I didn't think would escape my mouth, but I did enjoy the little moments where she was being silly. Okay, but on a serious note, it is quickly revealed that the Spine people have all been petrified. They've all been turned to stone. And our little, okay, he's not little, sorry, he's not little, he's very big. Our big kidnapper man he has lost his family, and that includes his little child. So shit got a little bit too real at that moment, you know. It got a little bit too real. Like he's the only one left in his entire town. He is the only one left. Which is really sad. That was really sad. Scheming pretender Calanaari is back for her girlfriend, and we're going to get another sexual tension-filled fight. Ooh, ooh. Okay, but for real, she's here for the gift dragon Sisu, or rather, the dragon's gifts, also known as the jams, the jams. Okay, Calanaari is here for the jams, the jams. She wants the jams, the jams. And Raya's plan is for the others to take a back exit while she stalls time with her girlfriend. And she says, I know how to push Calanaari's buttons. Of course you do, Raya. Of course you do. We all know you push her buttons very well. And here we are, we get another fight scene between Raya and Calanaari of epic sexual proportions. The sexual tension is real. What if they just started fucking? You know, what if they just had hot sex? What will Calanaari's little guards, you know, her henchmen, you know, what will they do if they started just like fucking? Would they be like, like, if the clothes were to start getting like ripped and like, give me the jams, give me the jams. So Sisu returns to rescue Raya because Raya was about to be a loser, and she returns in her dragon form and she makes intense eye contact with Calanaari, and in that moment she empathized with the sadness in Calanaari's eyes. She knew in that moment that Calanaari is not this evil bitch, this evil Binturi that we've been thinking that she is. She still has humanity in her. So they return to the boat and the others are like, why didn't you tell us that you were a dragon? Oh my god, you've been hiding that from us all this while? We have to pay respects to Sisu. And I really like this moment because it is a very chosen family moment. All these people are from broken families. Their families have become stone, but now they've all come together. And it is very poetic because you have the different shards of the jams. And it's very parallel to these people. They're all broken, but together they are whole. They're whole. With a W, not a H, you dirty slut. Now a quick intermission. Sisu brings Raya back to Heart. Raya's like, why are you bringing me back here? This is such a traumatic place. But she brings her back to the chamber where the jam was supposed to be kept at. And she shows Raya her family that has been petrified. You know, the old legendary dragons. And we got the sad story, we got Sisu's sob story. Yes, the goal is to bring out the power of friendship, okay? The power of friendship. We need Calanaari and Raya to understand, to see that, and to embrace that, the power of friendship. And of course, the power of sex and the jam. Okay, but I don't know how you feel about reviving the dead, okay? This whole idea of the statues and the dead. Because what we are watching now is maybe a few years after Raya's father got turned into stone. But what if you were turned into stone more than 10 years ago and your family member, your relatives have already aged, they have evolved, they have changed into new people, but you're still in your old age, your previous age, the age you were when you were petrified? I don't know how I feel about that. It is kind of creepy. Just like how I mentioned that I do not like how visceral people look when they're petrified and you forever see them as that rather than ashes or bones. I don't know about that. Okay, like, I don't know how I feel about me becoming a 50-year-old man and a friend who has been petrified 30 years ago is still a young person. We get a scene of Calanaari's mom teaching the kids propaganda, social studies with no precursor or disclaimer of possible biases. The other lands blamed us for what happened fuck you, okay? The other lands blamed us for what happened. Oh, so now you know how it feels to be hurt when they invited all of you over for a nice meal and instead you betrayed them for a bunch of jam shards. Now you know how it feels, okay? How it feels for Heart to be villainized all along just because they are the guardians of the jams. When they're just doing everybody a favor. And they invited you over for a free meal. A free meal. You did not even have to pay for it. Like, she has a little chat with her daughter Calanaari, and now they're thinking of stealing Sisu as well. So the jams is not enough anymore. We need the dragon as well because we do not want anybody else to have the dragon. If I can't have it, none of you can. This is not okay behavior, okay, Miss Mother of Calanaari. This is not it. This is not it. This is not slay. This is not fun. This is not cute. This is not girly pop. This is not queen. This is not queen mother. No. Raya and Calanaari link up and ultimately Calanaari betrays Raya again, but there is something that I want to quickly mention is that Raya's breath must stink from all those jerky. That disgusting jerky that she makes herself. And that is the only thing that is in her diet. Like, does she even drink water? Like, can you imagine talking to Raya the entire film and she has this god-awful jerky breath? Oh. Perhaps that is the real reason why Raya and Calanaari have not gotten it on officially, because of their stinky breath. And you smell jerky, like 1,000-year-old jerky. I would be pissed too. I would be pissed if I was Calanaari. Like, all I want to do is to have an embrace of you, but every time I reach out for you and lean in for something special, you give me something really special as well with your jerky breath. Does not sound very kiss friendly or sexy, okay? Like, this is definitely not as sexy as the jams. And Calanaari accidentally kills Sisu. Great. Now the world is actually going to fall apart because now the last dragon, even though it was summoned, now is dead. So the Droon go crazy and now Fang is in trouble. Fang is falling apart because of their own leader. What happened to this promising up-and-coming leader who's going to lead us into a better humanity? No, she has caused a disaster. And now the corruption is going to take over the world and we're all going to become stone. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? And you didn't even get to taste each other's pussy. And all you can do now is fight. Fight. Filled with rage. Fight. Just like the men. Fight. This is why we cannot have nice things, you see? This is why we can't have nice things, darling. All for some fucking jams, you know? What is so nice about that jam? Yes, Raya's friends help with evacuation efforts while she has her mandatory to the plot but unnecessary logically in the grand scheme of things fight with Calanaari when they could be eating each other's pussy. It is not long before they are all surrounded by an inferno of Droon, and it is in this moment that they say, it's not about magic, it's about trust. You see? It is about trust. It is about friendship. The power of friendship. They take turns sacrificing themselves. You know, they give Calanaari the stupid jams. You know, they each take turns and they give it to her. They're like, okay, this is all about trust. You have to do it. You have to do the right thing. They give her the jam. And at this moment, I was thinking, oh my god, Calanaari, please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Everybody's dying. Everybody's dying. Everybody's getting petrified. You must do the right thing. You have so much the world is in your hands right now. The future of the world is literally in your hands in the form of a jam. Okay, but the animation of the water and the stone turning, liquefying into flesh, and everything going back to normal, and the magic purifying the lands. Ooh, it's yummy, and the world is saved. So yes, the ending is here. Everybody reunites with your families. It's very sweet to have this full circle moment, you know, the whole sports day thing again, and Dad Benjamin getting the respect that he so deserves. Very nice. And that is Raya. And the last dragon. And the dragon's gifts. The jams. I really enjoyed the adventure aspects. I really enjoyed the political aspects. I really enjoyed the lesbian moments, even though nothing ever truly happened or came to fruition from that, but it's okay. That is a totally different topic. I really enjoyed this film. It was really fun. I would probably watch, I think I need a break from the very big stories, so I might go for something like Brave next. Yes, I'll probably watch Brave next. That will be the next film that I watch. So thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back for more jam.